Hey Harmonizers, you guys are in for a treat. This is my husband James, and he's got my horse Elysia. And I wanted to spend a little bit of time with him, so I asked him to come out and play with the horses with me. So this is him with Elysia. And as you can see, he doesn't really have a lot of feel and timing here. But I'm going to try my best to try to help him through a few things. And we were just kind of playing around doing a little bit of groundwork, and I spent a lot of time with the horses, so I just thought it'd be good to try to spend some time with my husband. So here I'm trying to tell him how to cue her to do sideways towards you, and as you can see, it is not working all that well, but I'm going to let you listen in on our conversation. Her nose so she's facing me. My horse is playing with my pom-poms. Well, there you see, you got it on that side. Good job. So you're going to try to cross. Good. Whoa, whoa. So try not to cue her to stop. Just say the word yes. So be very soft and gentle. Yeah. And just guide her shoulder a little bit. Gentle. Don't push. No, be very gentle. Just guide her nose. Yeah. So try not to say the word stop. Say the word yes. And show her a treat. When there. Oh, close. Yes. Try not to pull. You're doing great. And try to offer the cookie right when her legs are crossed. Whoa. Yes.
No, she didn't cross her legs at all.
Oh, it looked like she did on my angle. And guide her. So guide her nose a little more than her, because her shoulder follows her nose. My horse didn't kick me. Whoops. So you want to guide her nose away from you one step to try to guide the front legs to cross one. So turn her nose away from you. Good job. You're doing great. Good job. You're doing great. And just a tiny bit more. You're almost there. You're doing so good. Almost there. A little bit. Yeah, she just needs to cross. There. Yes. 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 As if don't pull her when you stop. So close. Yes. Yes. And give her a cookie. Give her a cookie. That was good because at least she crossed and then she uncrossed towards you rather than keeping going. That was really good. Yeah, good job. So close, yeah. Yes. Oh, so close. Good job. It's tricky, isn't it?
Yes.
Very tricky, that timing piece. All right, why don't you show everybody how amazing you are and do your sideways across the wall, because that was pretty good. Yep. Good job. Good job. And then yes. Good job, James. And then remember, stay on the same side. Remember, stay on the same side and walk backwards. No, other way, honey. Yeah, good job. Just pull her back if she starts to creep forward. Yeah, just ask her to go backwards. Oh, where are you going, honey?
I don't know. She's going forward.
There you go. You got to pull backwards a little bit as you go sideways.
Hold on. Interference.
It was pretty cute. He also tried jumping, and we did some walk trot transitions and warm up before. Thought this was actually pretty cute. You know, Elysia did a really great job of doing her best trying to follow James's cues, and James did a pretty good job of trying different things. Here's a little look at their attempt at some Spanish walk. So James understood the lifting leg part, so they got that pretty good. And then they actually had trouble putting it together with going forward at the same time and doing the Spanish walk. And you guys know from watching me with Elysia in her videos that she actually does Spanish walk pretty easily. So it's just kind of funny to see, you know, how much she still relies on my cues to get the Spanish walk going correctly, because James definitely struggles a little bit here. So he does manage to get some lifting. Interestingly enough, with her right leg, which is usually not her good leg for doing the lifts. And he gets a little bit of a Spanish walk, like a couple steps, and then Elysia just kind of is like, well, I'm kind of done listening to you. And then when he goes to correct her, he kind of lifts the stick sometimes. So then she gets confused and she thinks, am I supposed to go sideways? Because she's got a lot of other buttons and things installed. So then James is like, well, why is she going sideways? And what's going on? And starts to go reposition her and whatnot. And really, Elysia is being a really good sport about all of this. She's trying really, really hard. She's only 3 years old, remember. She's a 3-year-old off the track thoroughbred. So her little baby brain is actually, I think, doing a really good job being patient with James. And James is being a good sport too, being patient, trying to figure this all out. So here he gets a couple of his little lift steps going on, and then it starts to kind of go downhill a little bit again. And it's just kind of funny for me to see because it's so easy for her to do it for me. So it's kind of like, oh, you know, I didn't realize it'd be so challenging for somebody else to ask her to do it. And she starts going sideways and going all over the place and doesn't really understand what's going on. Now, of course, James doesn't really understand what's going on either, so he's not giving any direction to the front end of her body, which is why there's a lot of confusion going on. So we try to get at least, you know, a good lift before we quit, and so he gets it a little bit better sorted out there with the lift and step forward, and we call that one a day, and a cookie for Miss Elysia. And then it definitely was not all fun and games. We attempted some liberty. So this is James attempting some liberty here. And Elysia has pretty good liberty with her figure eights and things like that. And so it's kind of funny. So he did a little boomerang around the jump standard. And then I was teaching James how to do a figure eight and attempt some liberty, and I will definitely show you guys a couple bloopers from that. But first I'll show you, this is probably their best run that they did with attempting the figure eight. And for poor little James, he had a hard time figuring out where to stand to cue her for different things. So this is their best one. And he does pretty decent. He doesn't understand there to, like, he was blocking her nose a little bit as he goes to send her around. And on this direction here, they get the turn, but he ends up on the wrong side. It's not the end of the world, though. I mean, technically that's a figure eight, so, you know, he just added his own creative style. But there were definitely a few moments where it didn't go so well. This one being a good one here, where she goes to kind of look off to the side, and then James goes out with the stick, which basically just says, go run. So that's what Elysia did. And here's another one where he's sending her around, and then his body is positioned on the one side, and she does kind of draw, but then he goes in and goes to kind of get the halter, and he's on the wrong side, so it doesn't really work to do it that way. And so Elysia just says, you don't know what's going on, so I'm just gonna peace out there. So I have him do it with the rope to ask her to go around and try to get it figured out a little bit more to help him piece the puzzle together for both of them. So trying to explain to him how to do this. And of course there's other people riding in the background, so there are distractions and things going on. And so here he starts to get a little bit more figured out, but there he's on the wrong side, so he has to kind of turn around and get the other side. But all in all, I don't know. Who do you think is the better sport? Is it Elysia or is it James? I think they both get a round of applause for participating and playing with the horses. So it was a fun thing to do with my hubby, and I hope you guys enjoyed having a little laugh.